friends, and welcome back to Swiftlessons for another by request song tutorial. Yesterday I received a message from one of my patrons, Kelly, this lesson is for you, asking how to play James Arthur's 2016 hit song, Say You Won't Let Go. So I'm going to do a mini tutorial on this tune. It's very simple. It features just one chord progression all the way through, a 1-5-6-4 pop progression in G position, and a very simple fingerstyle technique that's played with a few different variations throughout the song. So I'm going to break all that down for you, and you can follow along using my tablature at patreon.com/swiftlessons. Become a member there and gain access to a ton of extra resources for all my popular YouTube guitar lessons. Now, let's get started. Okay, a close look at the fretboard, getting started with our intro/verse section. I'm in standard tuning, and I have a capo here on the 3rd fret. It's going to sound like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, let's break that down. Okay, so very simple. We had a 1-5-6-4 progression, and we're just going to talk about this like it's in the key of G, but the capo actually puts us in the key of B flat. You see the root of my G chord shape with the capo on, 6th fret of the low E string, that's a B flat note, so that tells us our key. Okay, jumping into measure 1, again, it's going to sound like this real slow. Okay, so I have a G major chord fretted, that's the 3rd fret of the low E string, 2nd fret of the A string, and the 3rd fret of the B string, all relative to the capo. Strumming this time from the low E string to the B string. I'm not even going to bother putting my pinky down on the high E string. Okay, so we're going to get started with the thumb. We're going to strike the root note, low E string, 3rd fret. Then we're going to do a double pluck, the open G string and the B string. Then remove the ring finger on your fret in hand and strike those strings again. Put that together and we've got. Okay, then very simple, we're going to go back and forth, the low E string, the G string, and then back to the low E string. You put all that together and we've got the full measure over G major. Okay, now one little detail. Notice that when I went to the high strings, that first time it was staccato, short and detached. So bass, short, long. Okay, from there we're going to go to the D major chord shape, the 5 chord in this key. We've got the 2nd fret of the G string, 3rd fret of the B string, and with my middle finger, 2nd fret of the high E string, strumming from the D string down. We're going to do a very similar fingerstyle pattern though with different strings. Sounds like this. Okay, so I hit the open D string with the thumb, then I'm grabbing the G string and B string together, nice and short, remove the ring finger, and then strike those 2 strings again. Technically speaking, you don't even need the high E string fretted again. Alright, then you're going to go back and forth, D, G, and D. Alright, put in measures 1 and 2 together, we've got. Alright, from there we're going to the chord E minor 7. There's a few different ways of playing this chord, but I like to have my middle finger on the 2nd fret of the A string, my ring finger, 2nd fret of the D string, and my pinky here on the 3rd fret of the B string. For this chord, we're going to play basically the exact same fingerstyle pattern that we had for the G major chord. Okay, so that was the low E string, G and B, take the pinky off, and then we're going to play low E string, G string, low E string. Okay, now put in 3 measures of music together, the G chord, the D chord, the E minor 7. Okay, now we just need one more chord, the C major. This measure is going to sound like this. Okay, so I have a C major chord fretted, 3rd fret of the A string, 2nd fret of the D string, 1st fret of the B string for the beginners out there. Alright, we're going to play the A string, then the G string and the B string, just like we did before, short and then long. Okay, then we're going to play the bass note again, and then do a pull off. That first finger, peeling off that B string. So you're fretting the note, and then just kind of scraping the finger off, so that way it plucks another note. And I want to keep my fingers down as I do that. Okay, putting all 4 chords together, the 1, 5, 6, 4 progression. We have 4 measures of music. The G chord, the D chord, the E minor 7, and the C chord. Let's try that a little bit slower now. Okay, now sometimes as he repeats this riff again, he does a little kind of slow upstroke or like a rake, and then hits the low note to start the next measure. Okay, so if I'm coming out of the C chord and I'm transitioning back to the G chord, we have this very slight detail that is kind of optional. See how I did that? Just kind of strum some open strings to start the next measure. Now, that's basically what's played throughout the entire song. In certain sections, it's just simplified a little bit. So I'm going to show you some ways in which you can simplify that main riff. Okay, excellent work everybody. You basically have the song down. Now we're just going to learn some different ways of simplifying the riff for areas of the song where the instrumentation becomes a little bit more ornate or the vocals become a little bit more wordy. Okay, so your stripped down verse is going to sound like this. The D chord, the E minor 7, the C. Okay, so basically what we're doing is taking out the bass notes on the second half of each of those measures. So the G major chord will just be bass, treble, treble, and then grab the G string. 1, 2, 3, and 4, grabbing the open string on beat 4. Alright, basically the same exact concept on the D major chord. Okay, then the E minor 7 chord. And then the C chord is going to be played the exact same way as it was before. Now, there's one other thing that you need to learn before you're ready to be able to perform this song, and that's an even more stripped down version of this main riff. And this is what's going to be played in the chorus section. Okay, now demonstrating an even more stripped down version of that main riff for your chorus section. Same exact progression with the G chord. Say you won't let go. Say you won't let go. Okay, couldn't get any more easy than that. We're basically taking out all the fancy techniques and making it real stripped down for the chorus section. Bass, treble, treble. You don't even need to lift off the ring finger for this section. Alright, do the same thing for the D major chord. Let it ring. E minor 7. And then go to the C major chord and play exactly what you did before. If you want to put in that little rake at the end of the C major measure, that'll sound fantastic. Okay, so there you have it. You have the intro / verse, and then you have the stripped down version, and also the really stripped down version for the chorus section. Congratulations everybody, you're ready to perform. Alright friends, thanks so much for checking out this fingerstyle guitar tutorial. I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know what you think in the comment section down below. As always, big thanks to my supporters at patreon.com/Swiftlessons. Hope you're enjoying all those extra resources. And thanks to you, I got many more lessons coming up. So keep checking in, please subscribe, please share. This is Rob at Swift Guitar Lessons in Philadelphia, saying happy picking.